We are Journals Out Loud. I'm your lovely and captivating host, Louise Palanker, here with a panel of wise and wonderful young persons.
I've been out there wandering.
By panel, I mean
I've been in here wandering.
more than one. Panel could be two. I think a panel needs three to be a panel, right? Because two would just be those two people. But then once you have three, you got a panel. Like, hey, look, here I am with my panel, and we could use panel instead of posse as we walk through life. Like you walk into, a club.
Like,
restaurant.
yo, this is my panel,
right?
though.
Exactly.
Get a load of this panel. Damn.
I roll with my panel.
I roll with my panel all day. We up in the club.
I moderate my panel.
All day. We looking fly. This panel over here, fly as hell.
Who watched the Oscars?
I did.
Me. 100%.
100%.
I totally watched it.
Okay, so favorite
fake
Oscar
it?
moment, Ben.
I know you're going to disagree, but Viola Davis's speech and when Emma Stone won the award for Best Actress in a Leading
I really
Role.
don't like her. I know we've talked about this.
Why?
Those are
I
my
just
two
don't-
I
saddest
love
moments.
her.
Oh, Easy's too sad. My favorite moment was Moonlight winning.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Moonlight, I'm all about Moonlight. And so when the accident happened, I was like, yay, accidents, because now I get to go home and sleep happy because Moonlight won, and I don't care how they had to win. I feel like it was like one of those like races where they like grab the baton from the other team and run across the finish line like ours.
I just think
wish
it was
they had.
upsetting that like they didn't get their moment.
Yeah,
but
that's
I'm
exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
It's like I wish
think
they
it's
had
like
just
an-
gotten their moment. 'cause
But
they
isn't it
deserve
an even bigger moment?
No.
It's kind of just like a more awkward moment.
It was so awkward watching it. Like you can watch and see
It was
how
the-
everybody
Especially the
starts
way
to
that-
hear.
The
Like
second-hand embarrassment, I felt I wanted to
Yeah.
turn the TV off.
I know. I was like, this is so uncomfortable.
And that little guy in the background, like scoring, like telling them you didn't win the award. That was like I was there for like.
yeah, the
fun.
way
It's
that
like,
it
what
was
is going
handled was
on?
kind of not like I watched it on YouTube afterwards the next day when I heard about it. But the way that it was handled was really not like professional, and it was definitely awkward and weird for everybody.
There's no way to handle that. Like there's
there
no
was definitely-
school
there
that you
would've been
go
a
to. Like
better
how
way
do
to
you
handle it besides that one guy. Like they all heard about the last guy goes up and like says his speech and then goes, "Oh yeah, and we lost." Like what the, you know what I mean? And then the other guy was just, I don't know. I think
it was
could
like
have been
that's live TV. There's no way you don't rehearse.
as adults.
how
I
to
think they could
handle-
have handled it better.
Well, it's so difficult because everyone's staring at you, and you know that you have to tell the guy thanking his mom that he didn't actually win, which rescinds all thanks that everyone gave from La La Land. It was so awkward. It was like it had to be awkward by the nature of what it was. Like your job is to be awkward because this is a horrible thing that just happened. You read off the name of the wrong movie.
I think it could have all been avoided. First off, you are reading the same card that was just read a few seconds ago. It was going to be awkward if I would be like, oh, this is the wrong card, guys.
That's what
And that
Warren
would've been
Beatty
fine.
should have said.
Right.
Yeah, he
This is the
realized
wrong card
too
instead
that
of
it
reading
was
a
the
name
wrong
that-
one, 'cause
Yeah.
he said
He
that's why I
was-
stared at it and I was like thinking to myself, like if you knew something was
Yeah, you
up,
could've
like
Make the
take
show
that
a little bit
moment and just
awkward
be
instead
like,
of a whole mess.
Yeah,
But I
like,
didn't like the hate was getting at people saying, "Oh, he's old. He shouldn't have read the card."
Yeah, no,
Oh,
it wasn't
no,
his
that
fault
was
at all.
uncalled
That's
for.
not it at
That
all.
was not.
No, but what
nice.
we've learned is that in moments of doubt, do not turn to Faye Dunaway. She will blurt out the wrong movie name. She won't say, "Yeah, dude, this is the wrong card," which is what he was hoping she was going to say. It was just like she's not your go-to person in a trench. But aside from that, Moonlight, I think winning that just healed my heart in a lot of ways because I think La La Land is a movie that you could watch over and over and over again because it's just like one of those movies that's just so fun to watch. Like you could have it on in the background while people are over. But Moonlight, you can't. Like Moonlight is this seriously like one of the best movies ever. Not just of this year. It's just like one of the best movies ever. And it did deserve a bigger moment. Like they should have like a whole new night to just celebrate Moonlight. And hopefully people that hadn't seen it will go out and see it. But
Yeah, I auditioned for that movie 2 years ago. Still one of the best auditions I ever had in my life. And I should have had that role. But I was honored that it won because I was like, wow, they even considered me to be a part of this movie. So
that's amazing.
wow.
I think you should have played everyone. You would have been the
all
best.
three stages.
Yeah, so were you going to be like grown up
Sure.
Chiron?
The teenager.
Teenager Chiron? The boy, I think he needed to be like a little bit scrawnier,
Yeah.
to show.
That's what he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To show that one moment where he decides, nobody's going to mess with me. All right, go see the movie. I don't want to give any more away. So, other favorite. Who else has a favorite Oscar moment? Because there was a lot going on.
I mean,
Chili.
I loved the whole like inspiration thing when they were talking about like their idols. I thought that was really cool. It made it more interesting, like having presenters come out together, you know, and gave like it. I thought the show itself, you know, because usually award shows are very long and they're giving out a lot of awards that people don't recognize the people who are actually getting awarded. So I thought they did a really good job of making it like engaging and interesting to watch. And you know, I think he was funny. Jimmy Kimmel was funny, but he got a lot of slack for making jokes about people's names. I don't know if you guys heard about all of that, which I thought was interesting because like it's definitely it was like slightly a microaggression, but also like it's his job to try and be funny in whatever way he thinks he can in the moment. So
He was mostly dead on funny.
Yeah, no, he was great,
all
but it's
night.
just interesting how like, you know, you kind of have to like run the line of like what's appropriate and what's
I
not.
loved the whole Meryl thing he did.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
Hashtag Meryl says hi.
All right, so
But
my
I
favorite.
did like the moment. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say I'm gonna go to you in a moment, but have you got my favorite moment queued up, Matt? I do. This is my favorite moment. I think it's a lot of people's favorite moment. It's the tour bus that stopped by.
That was great. That
Brilliant.
was really funny.
It was so funny.
Oh yeah, the other one.
There's like a huge meme coming from it now.
Oh, that's good.
It's so funny.
Emma brought her brother. I feel like you're ignoring the white celebrities. Who's your
I
favorite
am.
actor?
Did he say I am? Oh, he's my. Oh gosh, I just want to.
Denzel? Denzel, would you be the best man at their wedding?
I now pronounce you husband and wife. Kiss the bride.
So one thing about that moment that I wanted to discuss with you guys is like even when they realize they're at the most photographed event in the world, they don't stop filming. Like at what point do you exist and live your life and put down your recording device?
I'm always like that. Like even concerts, you cannot catch me at a Beyonce concert with my phone out. I'm always living in the moment, and I probably take like 2 videos the whole entire concert, and I'm like, she always says when she's on stage, like, put your phone down, like live in this moment. You're never gonna get it again and stuff, and it's just cool to like really relive it. But I don't know. I don't do that.
Well, I have one little story to tell regarding that, and that's that like I was on this cruise called Concerts at Sea, and so you get to see all these 60s groups like every night. It's just a ridiculous cruise for people my age. But that night we're floating in the middle of the Mediterranean, and out the back window of our cruise cabin, from the cabin next door, I hear all the music that we just heard from some guy sitting on his deck and who had recorded it with his phone. He's just floating in the middle of the ocean, listening and reliving. So for me, that was like, okay, that's why people record this stuff. So because they do watch it back. Like I always think like, you're never gonna, but I guess maybe, do you guys ever?
It's a balance. It's a balance.
It's a balance, yeah.
I think. I mean, like that's what's great about like Instagram and Snapchats that you can like save and look back on.
Photo
And,
book.
yeah, like you can go and remember
People
like
aren't
all
ever gonna
those
have photo books
different.
anymore.
Yeah. You
No,
can
that's your
remember all those
scrapbook.
different
It's
things.
alive. And it becomes like the second you. Like there's me, and then there's this version of me that I present to the world. And we're curating
the
it.
version of me on Instagram is me.
But it's still your.
That's me. Like
No, I
I
know.
don't. There's not a front to that. That is. So I don't think that's true. I think that's true for a good amount of people. They use the internet to like make you look like something that you're not. But
It's not you
Well-
because it's not you burping. It's the you that you curate, that you decide is the parts of you that day that you decide to share. Like you do get to curate it.
Even like putting a filter on or editing
Yeah.
it or what you choose to like from your day post, like you are filtering out parts of
the
yourself.
content.
No, I believe that it's a really accurate representation of you. I do believe that. But you still made a choice about what to post.
I kind of agree, and I also think like I would say it's not like scrapbooking because I like recently just started like writing a journal because I found myself like focused on too much wanting to tell people like what I'm doing in my day and didn't spend enough day like of the day actually doing things. So I started like writing a journal so I could just like tell like the journal like what happened, so I could actually like live in life like we were talking before and just write it down and not feeling the need to tell everyone. But I do think like I only show people like. This girl messaged me the other day on Snapchat. She was like, "You seem so rich. You're always putting pictures of going out for lunch on Snapchat." And I'm like, half the meals I put on Snapchat I actually make myself. It is all about showing what you want to show, and I understand like lots of people just show everything, and like I respect that, but me personally, I know I show what I want to show and don't show what I don't want to.
The memories feature on Snapchat is actually really cool. Like, you post anything on your story and you can go back on your memories and go from like a year ago and see all the things that you're posting. And I tend to go on like weekly, go back and just like
It's so
laugh
fun.
at videos that I took or pictures that I took, you know?
So you do enjoy it.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
It is like a
That's good.
scrapbook.
But that's what you did also with like a photo book when you know, like when growing up and you wanted to look at pictures of you as a kid.
Yeah.
Since we didn't have phones, they actually had like real
Yeah,
photography.
photo book I completely agree.
Polaroids.
Yeah, and you go back and
love
look at that, and then you'd
Polaroids.
ask your parents like, "What was happening in this picture?" And they'd tell you a little story, and you're like,
Imagine like 20 years down the line when you like look through your memories on Snapchat.
God.
Oh my god, from when you're like 12. Or
So I did want to address one more aspect of the Oscars that Ben and I got in an argument about, and that was Viola Davis's speech when she won. Spoiler alert if you haven't yet watched the Oscars. And it's not okay to say spoiler alert after you've spoiled something, but I just did. That's not how it works. But here's a little bit of Viola's speech. Really, Matt, we're having to wade through a lot
Thank you
of
to the
dresses and
Academy.
clapping.
You know, there's one place that all the people with the greatest potential are gathered. One place, and that's the graveyard. People ask me all the time, what kind of stories do you want to tell, Viola? And I say, exhume those bodies. Exhume those stories. The stories of the people who dreamed big and never saw those dreams to fruition. People who fell in love and lost. I became an artist, and thank God I did, because we are the only profession that celebrates what it means to live a life.
Okay. That was a line that bothered me because I think there's enough elitism in Hollywood. You don't have an award show for plumbers that's televised all over the world. And so when she says we are the only profession, isn't that kind
She
of
says artist though, and all because at first I agreed with you.
Yeah.
Because I thought she was talking about like actors, but when you think about it, I mean, I don't think it's the only profession, but I think that art like gives this way of expression that a lot of other things don't. Music and photography and painting and acting and writing. It's like kind of an expressive way that people can depict themselves. So like I understand what you're saying, but I also think that like celebrating art, especially right now, is really important.
But if she had sort of phrased it as, what I love about our profession is that we get to celebrate what it means to live a life, instead of saying, and you don't, like it almost felt like she was
But I feel like
I
that's
guess-
what she meant.
I
Like, there's
guess
a-
it could have been worded better, but the context of what she said prior to, which was, the best stories are the ones that are people that are dead. And like, for instance, Jay-Z is producing a movie about Khalif Browder. He's a 22-year-old who took his own life because he got a petty crime and he spent 3 years in jail. He now doesn't have a life, but somebody like myself can absolutely play him and bring that story to life. And that's, I think, the context is of, we're, as an actor, we get to delve into that and bring that story to a bunch of people.
Because I think when she's saying, like, I completely agree with you, because she's saying that they're the only ones that can actually show it. Like, actors are showing it to you right then and there. It's not like when you were saying earlier, a nurse. Yeah, a nurse is celebrating life, but that's their job, like, to bring it into the world. It's not actually showing everyone that can actually see this birth. Like, you have to have people playing those people to show what life is.
So you're saying the meaning of the word celebrate in this context is depict a life for you.
Definitely.
Yeah, like getting to be on screen. I'm telling you this is what happens in this person's life, and I'm showing it to you so you can see it for your own eyes, and you can see how it exists because of the way that like I'm acting it or something.
Yeah, understood.
I also think it, like, even the words celebrates what it means to live a life. Like a nurse, like, brings back to life, celebrates the life that's right now. I think it means to live a life like the emotions that someone goes through and what situation that they go through. Nurses and like professions that aren't an art form don't really go through that because we're learning what it means to live a life, what emotion you're feeling, how you're reacting to that. As an actor and as a singer, like it's different because you're learning every aspect of life and portraying it the way it comes through naturally to you and portraying it into someone else. And I just think it's something that no one else kind of does do, backing Viola up.
So you guys are all actors, right?
Not me.
Everybody but Julie. So when you watch the Oscars, do you kind of picture yourself up there?
All the time.
Yes.
I practice my award speech every time there's an
Really?
award show. Always.
Can I hear
I love
and
that.
It's actually so emotional. I start crying. I get so in the moment.
Oh my God.
And I don't know what I'm gonna say. I just thank God, and then I thank my mom, and then I start crying more, and then I'm like, all right, probably my time is up, so I gotta go.
And then you're getting played off.
You play yourself off.
Yeah.
That's so cool because now that I know all of you guys, when I was watching the Oscars, I was like, you know, my kids are all actors, and one day they're going to be up there going,
I would like to thank Wheezy.
wow, this thing. No, I don't remember her name, but this thing is heavy. This thing is really is heavy.
I hope so.
I know so. All right, so Ben, would you read the first question?
Okay. I really like this person and I want to take her to a dance in June, but that's so far away and I'm really scared that she will reject me. I want to be close as friends with her and finally I'll ask her to the dance. But is there a way I can without making things obvious? Well, you just said, hey, you want to be close to friends with her. You're not. The end game right now is the dance, but right now you said close to friends with her, not to date her. And I think you can get closer to someone by learning what they like to do. Even it sounds like you're at school. See where she sits at lunch. Maybe get similar friends and be with her and around her more than maybe you are right now. And the more you have in common and more memories you make together, the more closer you'll get as friends.
Yeah. I mean, like what I would do, I think you're going down the right track, like of what I would do if I thought I wanted to like go, you know, to a dance or something with somebody. Step one, trying to become friends is a great step because you should make sure that you are going to have a fun night with them, you know, like it's not going to be weird. So, you know, take the pressure off yourself maybe about the dance for a second and just focus on being friends and seeing if that's something that would be natural and fun. And I don't think you should worry about making things obvious. Like being friends with people is like great and normal and like not obvious.
How do you not make that
I mean,
obvious if
it's
you want to be
like-
friends with somebody?
Right,
like,
but
be nonchalant about being friends.
So when we get a question like this, I always think that you have to picture the person being 12 because that's the age at which like there's this kind of like period between like maybe 8 and 12 where you don't really talk to the opposite sex at all. And then when you start wanting to, like you feel like everyone's just going to be staring at you. And so that's kind of what they're asking. And yeah,
I mean, if you are between the ages of 8 and 12, just deal with it. Like, just be confident because if people are going to look at you and think that, oh, you're talking to her because you want to take her to a dance. All right. So you are. I mean, that is what it is. You can't not do that and you can't control what people think. So just kind of do you and be confident. I know we say that a lot, but that's really the only way to get through things. If don't care about making it obvious, just do what you want.
there wouldn't be a dance if they didn't expect you guys to start talking to each other around this age.
Very true.
So that's kind of what's expected, and it's kind of like what people start to become interested in middle school. And I know it feels really weird, and people will maybe giggle or whisper or tease you or whatever. But in order to make something good happen, sometimes you have to do something difficult or intimidating or scary. But if you do it, no matter what she says, you're going to prove to yourself that, hey, I'm someone who steps up and does the scary thing. And that's a really good thing to learn about yourself.
I was never asked to a dance till junior prom. Just saying.
Maybe this guy was too afraid. This guy right here was like, well, what would people say if I asked Tara? They're like, you can call right now, give Tara a call and apologize for never asking her to the 8th grade dance.
Yeah, man. I was so
888.
sad.
This is the phone number. I want you to write it down for future reference if you're watching the show right now, Mom. 888-531-7171. If you're someone's mom, if you're the mom of someone on this panel, give us a call because we really want to know what they were like when they were little. That would be
Mom,
the best.
Mom, you're watching right now. Call in.
or if you're Academy
not.
Award winner,
But do
Viola Davis.
If you're Viola Davis,
Give us a
definitely give us a
call.
call.
And also,
If
if
you're-
you're
Some
that
questions.
major fan of Jilly on Instagram, please call.
Yes, dude, call her.
Oh my
There's a
God.
girl. She's like, "Is Jilly on this week?" And one time she wasn't on, and she was so sad. She's
Yeah,
like,
she
Jilly
has
has
her
a
address.
fangirl.
Come on, call.
Chili's fangirls.
Hit me
Give
up.
us a call. Sean, would you please read the next question?
I certainly can.
Yay.
It says, my best friend and her boyfriend broke up recently, and her and I recently had a falling out. Her ex-boyfriend now claims that he likes me and I like him, but everything is very complicated. He asks me to hang out with him quite often, but he wants it to be a secret. He doesn't want anyone to know that we are talking because he knows that it would cause drama. It makes sense, but it makes me sad that he wants everything to be secretive. At times it makes me feel like he doesn't even like me. I need an opinion.
I need an opinion.
I need it now.
I need an opinion.com.
That's
Well,
what
I mean,
we
like,
do.
He's honestly like so right though.
He's probably still talking to his ex.
It's like awkward because you probably like, of course you're probably feeling like he's just, you know, trying to use you and that's why he doesn't want everybody to know. But at the same time,
He probably is.
if you think about it, but at the same time, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's say he actually like really does like you. If you think about it, it's so true. If you guys like came out with like liking each other, that would cause
Okay,
so
Sean,
much
what?
stupid drama.
But why do you feel like this guy is behaving normally? Like he's being sensitive to other people's feelings.
No.
And she's just
I
like,
feel like
no,
if he really-
hey,
No, no,
If
no,
he
no.
really-
I think that's giving the benefit of the doubt. If we don't
Really?
give him the benefit of the doubt and make him
Just
as
judging on what this is,
the
he's
regular-
probably talking to his ex, the most likely, and he probably doesn't like you that much, to be honest.
no,
because
you don't think that there's a correlation between
TBH.
her
Why would
breaking
he-
up with her best friend and her best friend's ex now likes her?
If he really liked her, he wouldn't want to keep it secretive.
So
when
messy.
when this ever happens, I'm like, oh, those people were totally messing when they were together.
Yeah,
There's
for
a
sure.
reason.
I always
There's
think
a
that, but-
reason.
There was
that he keeps it
definitely
secretive.
they definitely were having a little bit of like googly eyes towards each other, and then when the boyfriend and girlfriend broke up, the friend probably like
Swooped in.
like didn't realize that she was making their
Up in the
friendship like
DMs.
break up, but did stuff to where their friendship could break up so that it would seem like it was okay to go after the ex-boyfriend because, well, we're no longer friends. So
Right,
it's like
but
I don't really owe
What
you
if it's a
anything.
way to get the girlfriend back? Like, who broke up with who? Because he claims that he likes the best friend that already, like, when they had a falling out. So maybe he's trying to make the other girl jealous to get back to her. I mean,
That's a
Oh,
possibility.
that's a possibility.
Yeah.
But what I was thinking was that
Or not.
she, for whatever reason, she loses her best friend because her best friend figures out that her boyfriend likes her best friend.
That's not what happened.
That's
we don't know
not-
that
I don't,
happened.
I don't think
necessarily
that's what
why.
happened.
We don't think that's happened.
And now he just wants a cooling off period out of deference to his
No.
ex-girlfriend.
If he
before
really
he's-
liked her, he wouldn't want to keep it secretive.
No, she
That's
would.
the
But
bottom
don't you
line.
have to keep it like
If
just
they had a falling out, then why would it matter?
because what if they had a falling out over him liking her more?
Well, that's the benefit of the doubt. If that's the benefit of the doubt, if we give this guy the benefit of the doubt and say that he's not just like using this girl or just being, you know, a D-bag, then yeah, he's trying to be sensitive of everybody's feelings and trying to like the best way to
Ease into it?
the best way to like come out and be like, I know you guys used to be friends, but I actually do really have feelings for this girl. And I mean, you'd hope that, but with people's track records, there's not.
I have a different concern though.
Okay.
My concern is that she says at times makes me feel like he doesn't even like me. And if it's secretive, like talking to somebody and not telling everybody shouldn't really have anything to do with you feeling like he doesn't really like you, in my opinion.
He's
I'm
probably
very
just-
secretive. You won't. Like I said last time, you wouldn't know if I'm dating someone.
But that girl
yeah,
would like,
they would know
yeah.
that
So
I'm so
like
into
that's
you.
why I'm concerned because that's like a red flag to me.
See, now I'm just really
Although-
curious about whether or not Jabbar is dating someone.
We'll
Like I
never
can't
know.
even concentrate on the rest of the show.
You got a bae?
or not.
If you are dating Jabbar, please give us a call at 888.
Lots of numbers calls.
Oh, shit, you
no,
make
what-
it
We
high.
all find out.
No,
all
but
the
like-
girls are finding out.
Can't you just talk to the guy and say, like, look, if you like me, like, for how long should we stay on the down low before we could be like an open public thing?
He's gonna say, I don't know.
No, but to me, it feels like the reason he doesn't want to do it out in the open is because he doesn't want to hurt the feelings of his
That was
ex.
a fun sound.
No one else thinks that's the same. That's the situation.
Just be honest with him and
Right.
vibe with it. Like, talk to him, and then if you don't get a good vibe from him,
talk to him in
don't
Italian.
make this. I'm pretending this is his face. So like, I'm gonna say, I like
Bring
you,
your
dude.
face here.
I like you.
Got
I
something
don't
to
want to
say
be
to your
secretive, but
face.
if you want to be secretive because of everything, okay, and see what he says. And if you don't like what he says and you don't trust it, bye.
All right, so these are my new favorite words, and I think these are good words for any situation that's awkward, but you want an answer and you don't want to put someone on the defensive. You say, "Help me understand." If you preface anything with "help me understand," it like the other person gets to help you.
I
And
have to
we
do that with my
like
boyfriend a
helping
lot
people.
now.
Instead of saying, "What the hell is going on here?" you can say, "Help me understand." Because if he has his reasons, let's hear what they are.
That's a good. That's
Just
good
make
advice.
sure they're not BS reasons.
They could be.
Because guys like giving BS excuses a lot.
How do you detect BS, Tara? How do you detect BS?
Yeah, I'd like to know the answer to that.
Yeah.
If they don't look you in the eye.
I mean, you
They're
really
like-
got to know the person though, because like,
Nah, you don't.
well,
You
no,
can
for
feel
certain
it.
people, like you can feel it, but then also if you know the person a little bit, then you can detect it even
Just
better.
don't let his like looks or the way he says your name or some shit like, or
That's
some
always-
stuff like that like distract you from like what he's actually
Yeah,
saying.
don't let him compliment you and make you try and feel good, so he gets around the question. Because my boyfriend gets around the question and will change the thing. The
Wow,
co-
like
way
a
the co-
politician.
yeah.
Oh, so and also if his name is Jabbar, he's never gonna let this secret out ever. It's gonna. So yeah, it's just.
I know Jabbar's gonna
Just-
come in one day. He's gonna be like married or something. We're gonna
We're
be
gonna
like,
be like,
gonna
"Hey,
be a
Jabbar,
random ring
where'd
on
you
his
get that
finger."
baby?
Right.
This is my baby."
right. Like I've been
Okay,
married.
please don't do that for
okay.
like another 10 years. Just
Won't
don't.
happen until I have
Yeah.
a lot of money in my bank account.
There
All
you
right,
go.
Katie Michael, next question, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My brother is getting bullied and won't admit it. He has no self-confidence at all. What can I do to help him?
Beat up the bully.
No, not for him.
I'm kidding.
No.
Let him beat up the
kidding,
bully, if
guys.
anything, honestly, because he deserves it.
It's hard to watch a sibling go through something like this, right? Because you can't live their life for them, but you really want to like strengthen
No.
them.
Yeah. As when I was younger, I was really badly bullied, and I know what he's going through. I don't know the extremity of the bullying, and I understand what it feels like to have no self-confidence, because even now, I feel like the bullying that I had when I was younger still affects my self-confidence today, and I just think if there's anything you can do, it's a conversation, because it doesn't matter if what you're going to say to the kid, if you're going to hit the kid. These are all choices that you're going to make, and you just have to make sure everything you say, everything you say and everything you do is for a reason. Because let's say if you hit the person or you say something to the person that's bullying him, then maybe that will just make it worse. I just think you need a conversation with your brother and really understand what's going on and how he's feeling towards it, because if he doesn't actually care about it, then that's what he feels, and you've not got a place to intervene. But whenever my brother and sister have a problem, I know that I go super protective, and I know it's everything I want to do just to make them feel better. And since I've been through that, I know how it feels. I would hate for any kid to go through what I went through, what any kid goes through, much more worse than I did. And I just think you need to do something just to help him to get his mind off it. Maybe if he's your brother, you probably know, maybe he likes sports, maybe go play sports with him. If he likes drawing, do like a drawing challenge with your family. Just do something to take his mind off it. And if he's having a bad time at home, help him have a bad time at school, help him have a bad... If he's having a bad time at school, help him have a good time at home.
There we go.
I mean, I agree, but then I also think it's like he's still gonna get bullied though. Like what you're saying is great, but he's still getting bullied. So if I were you, I would talk to your parents and just like let them be aware of the situation so they know, and then maybe they can go from there. But I mean, I feel like have a lot of us been bullied? I mean, I know it's a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been
Not
bullied.
really.
Like, yeah, okay, so.
Really?
Sorry.
You've never been bullied?
Well,
I
you know,
mean-
Julie's just like an amazing person, and like we all
I'm
love
just being
her.
honest. I want to play that card
Julie's
if I don't
never
have
been
it.
bullied. We could
You
start.
could start now.
I mean,
oh my
yeah.
God, Julie, look at the
No,
way
let
you
Jilly
sit.
be Jilly.
Look how
So
she sits.
being-
Can you believe it?
Being another person who has gotten bullied, like you just like you got to tell someone though. Like you can't. I mean, it's great. Like I go home to my parents and they make me feel better, so that's awesome. But it's like it still happens, and like that's why I
Yeah,
went
I
to
know.
private school and
You have
said
to
so.
teach him to stand up for himself.
I switched
I
schools
did
too.
go to
I
private
couldn't
school.
take
Maybe
it.
that's
Yeah.
You gotta teach him like obviously like violence is not the best policy, but you have to teach him to like at least
Is that-
stand up to the bully and just
Or walk
like,
away,
make that
like,
bully
don't-
seem like he's
Is that really what the best
stupid.
thing to do is, though?
Oh
in
yeah,
that
for
situation?
sure.
Well-
when I was being bullied and stuff, like my dad would help me, and he would just like the best like way to just embarrass the bully back, and just like keep coming back at them with something, not I guess kind of bullying.
But
them
what if
back
you
in a way.
can't? Because like I literally just could not think of anything smart to say back, so I just had to walk away.
Well, it's hard.
I mean,
because
I
have
wasn't
a
you.
lot of good comebacks.
I'm
But
usually-
honestly, like the best thing that you could do, if you can get the bully so mad that you don't care, and then they hit you, oh my god, then they're suspended, and then they look like
And they hit
a
you?
mean person.
Poor Julie. But what I wanted to say is like, my whole
I
life
never
have been
got
so.
punched, but I pissed him off. I pissed him off so bad because I just think.
I've been like so anti-violence the whole time I was been being bullied, but when I came to high school in America, like right now my personality,
Everybody wants to fight in America for
Yeah.
some reason. Catch me outside. Like, get
how
out
about
here.
that?
World star.
Well, anyway, what I was gonna say is like I have been so anti-violence, and I'm being honest here. Like when I came to America, and I know like my stance, and I know who my friends are. Like I didn't want to take anything when I came to America. I came to America to act and things, and I made that. And when people start, like a group of people that like trash started to like call me names, I did place my hand on them and I hit them because they were saying you're weak.
Man.
No, but it was the wrong thing to do. I know it was. But when people say, because I'm a nice person, I never do anything like extremely masculine, let's say. People suggest things like I'm weak, and I just think if there's a specific thing that someone's saying, if you can prove that you're not, like, unless it's like to do with your sexuality, they have no right to question anything, and you don't need to prove anything or anything like that. You just be you. But like for my situation, like I like didn't want to take it. Like it was like a small kid my age. Like I'd had enough. But like that's not the best advice.
But don't you feel like you
Anyone
get
else?
into
Did
like
you give him a
dangerous-
bruise?
Did
he get a scar?
I didn't care enough to ask after.
Oh,
But you did hit him.
I kind of
But
want to
don't
know.
you feel like you get into dangerous territory though when you start to like engage with somebody who's clearly has like a lot?
Well, you got to put them
Yeah.
down.
I
No,
don't-
you have to put them down because they
Yeah.
won't stop. I mean, you can walk away if your best defense is to just keep walking away and keep walking away. That's great. But for a lot of people, and I'm sure for you, that's just gonna bottle up inside. That'd be great if you could just walk away, like in a perfect world. And I know people out there that just like do not care, but at some point it's going to bottle up and it's going to really annoy you, so you have to put them in their place so that they know not to
agree.
mess with you.
Or you can like,
You don't have to you don't have to hit them, but you have to
I
show
get
them
that.
what's up.
You can get
that.
under their skin and annoy them so much and be like,
That's what I
mean,
was saying.
well, like no,
don't
but
think
not
that
like come back at
works.
them, but kill them with kindness. But not like the kindness where it's like, oh, you're so sweet, but just like sarcasm with like coming back, but not like really dragging them down, but not like letting them see that you're not really taking it, because then they're gonna get so annoyed with that, which is the same thing as kind of like walking away. But
No, she's saying, Tara's
Sorry.
saying that like.
No,
all
I
right,
know what she's saying, but I already said
insult
that.
insult me. Say something mean.
I really like don't want to.
No, not this is why I like being on this panel. No, thank you.
All right,
I
so
don't like-
so we're gonna do a role play. Ben, say something. Say that you hate my camera. Go ahead.
I hate your camera.
I'm sorry you feel that way. That's what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like it's like
so me.
yeah, and so there's this movie called Bully, and it's a documentary, and it follows these kids
I
that are
saw that.
yeah, right. And so there's this one moment that kind of explains or gives you like a tutorial into how to handle a bully. There's a town hall meeting about how they're going to handle bullies because there's been increased. I mean, I guess someone committed suicide, so it was like they had a town hall meeting at the school, and this one little kid who's about 14 or 15 or something, and he gets up and he says, "I was bullied my whole life, and then one day I just went effing nuts. I just flipped out, and because he really just lost it, but it was effective. It worked. So it's like bullies want to bully you, but they never want to get called on it. So if you are louder than them and say, why the hell are you spending your day doing this? You have nothing better to do than to, like really loud so that everyone hears you. That can work. That can stop them.
They will feel embarrassed if
Exactly.
that's what happens.
Yeah, and so you shouldn't have to get to the level where you just lose your cool and do it. I mean, because that's a really scary place. Feels like you're falling off a cliff. But for this kid, it was effective. It worked. And I guess, Ben, when you smacked the kid, that was your version.
But like it wasn't hard. Like I want to say like my whole life I've been bullied terribly, and not recently, thank God. I've been bullied terribly and never ever been violent. Let me tell you, I got screamed at by my parents. That was not the right thing to do, to place my hands on anybody. But like there's a point where you get to there's a point that you can't take it anymore, and that's the point where I've been to too many times.
That happens in
just-
Moonlight.
It happens in everyday situations with everything, and bullying is such a difficult topic, and every situation is different. And what just upsets me the most that people are so disgusting to the point that a good person or a bad person or any person is brought to where they kill themselves and commit suicide. And I think whatever tribe or culture or anything that you're in, it's not okay to make someone feel so bad that they feel like there's nothing else to do except to end their life. I just think that needs to be stopped, and I don't know what Trump can do because I'm not really that. Shit. Something needs to be done.
The words effectiveness and Trump don't show up in the same sentence like ever.
Well, I agree, but like a president needs to do something.
I don't
No,
think a
but-
president can really do as much. Like it's.
I think
mostly
there needs
all
to be
the
strict to
people.
things.
No leader could really do anything about bullying.
Yeah.
It's
Well, you
I
can
think there should be
inspire.
strict
You
to
can inspire
rules.
a kinder culture, but he's inspiring quite the
But people
opposite.
break
So
rules.
Yeah.
we
That's
need to
the thing.
overthrow
Like,
this
people aren't gonna
Yeah, I
carry
know.
rules into
Secretary of
place. Like,
Education. But
we need to have people who actually just want to be nice towards each other. Like if you say be nice, everyone's gonna break that rule. Like no one's gonna do like what they're being told because that's why people are in jail. They're breaking rules
No,
all the
I-
time. So you just have to get
It
somebody
has
to
be something
empower you
instilled
or
into
No,
like, a moral code.
a
Yeah.
moral code, a mindset, a
That
cultural
we
code
use-
of this is how
Yeah.
we
It's still
behave.
there.
Yeah.
Like a moral code of being like a decent human being is definitely there. Everybody knows it. It's just
I actually think that in a lot of
law.
ways, Trump is sort of inspiring us to be who we want to be because he's exemplifying who we don't want to be. And so all of these protests, town halls, marches, and what have you are just, and I've been to them, and they're full of the nicest, kindest people who are just exemplifying who we choose to be.
Well, no. I think what he can do is just be a dumb butt, and then we're seeing it because, like you're saying, we're all getting together because we don't like what he's doing. So that's kind of like that's what you're saying he should be doing.
He's leading by negative example. Like if you
Yeah.
had a father that was a jerk and you were just like, I am not going to be him, and it's still kind of
not
something.
ideal.
It's not ideal.
not
Thank you.
ideal,
It's
but
not
it's
ideal.
like-
It's
Bullying
not
is not
happening.
ideal.
Let's move on to the next question because we have a lot to discuss. Is it your turn, Jabbar?
Yes. Okay. My boyfriend and I have been dating for 4 years. We were incredibly happy, and I think we still are. We are just stressed out from school, so we are now on a break. Red flag. I am worried that he is going to have sex with someone during our break, and he says he's not going to make any promises. Another red flag. That is not going to happen. Sex with someone during our breakup, and he says he's not going to make any promises. That is not going to happen. Is this wrong?
That is
if
not
he
going-
does have sex with someone, would it be unfair if I told him I did not want to get back with him?
Not at all.
if you guys have to, you have to like write down or verbally say what a break is, because a break could mean like we're just not going to talk, we're just not going to see each other, but we're still loyal to each other. Or a break could be like free for all, do for all, whatever you want to do, and then we'll come back around and see how we feel. So if he's thinking a break is something that you're not thinking, and you guys come back together and he's had sex with somebody else and that's not what you wanted to have happen, you have complete right to
do
walk
whatever
away.
you want to do.
You can do whatever
at
you
any
want.
time.
Yeah, you're not tied down to someone when you're in high school.
Just like dating.
Oh, they're in high school.
Like dating is sort of practice for marriage. A break is practice for being broken up. So if it goes down that way, then you go, all right, this feels. I've learned.
It's kind of just
it's
like
there
I
to
want to
teach
break
you.
up, but I'm like afraid, like, oh, but
Yeah.
how would I feel? So if I'm not okay being alone or something,
Exactly.
you know what I mean?
And if he's already insinuating that sex is not off the table, then
Right.
yeah.
He definitely.
I
just
think
wants
probably
to
like
get in
4 years is a long time to be with someone, and I think he or she is probably really scared to be alone after 4 years and to have a constant for 4 years and not just be gone. I couldn't imagine it. Like,
Sure.
But you can't just be his backup plan. you
Yeah, I
know,
know.
While he wants to go off and have sex with other people. Like, I feel like you wrote this question knowing your own answer, kind of, Jabbar.
True.
Well, and the thing is, people change. Like, especially, I'm assuming you guys are very young. You're gonna change. So the 4 years, you guys aren't the same people that you were when you first started dating, because you changed dramatically. But then, I don't know, however, until you're 20, 30,
Yeah, let's
40,
say it's
whatever
16
it
to
is.
20 years of age.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
crazy. Yeah.
so he probably is changing, and you guys just may not be compatible anymore if he wants to go and like screw someone else.
Yep.
Sure.
All right.
Cool.
Tara.
Yeah.
I like this guy.
I like this guy and he likes me, but he's really shy.
He's all cap shy.
Yeah, he's all caps really shy. He doesn't talk to me, and so his friends have to push him to. Ugh. It's almost like he's scared of me. Should I give up on him for not making his move, or should I just wait? Maybe he's nervous or something.
I don't think he actually likes you. I think he just wants to save your feelings, and so he's acting like he's shy.
I'm just confused. Like,
He's
sorry.
fake shy.
Like, that's-
He's alternate shy.
I think he's probably
that
like
happened.
I think he's like a super nice guy, and he doesn't want to hurt your feelings because he knows that you like him. So he was like, oh yeah, like to his friends, like, yeah, like maybe, like I could like her. And so like his really shyness is actually just doesn't want to hurt your feelings.
I think that could be true because that has happened, but also I do think that he could be just honestly really shy and he doesn't know how to make a first move.
I think girls can make the first move too.
True
Yeah,
that.
I mean,
That's
yeah,
what
just
I do.
go for it.
But I'm
If-
still
All
single.
right, so what
maybe
Sean
not.
is saying is give him a call at
Give him a-
888-531-7171. Ladies,
See how good my track
Sean
record is.
needs a fangirl. He's super jealous of Julie's fangirl.
Way too jealous right now.
Oh, this one.
All right, this next thing we're going to talk about has to do with transgender bathrooms, and I guess there's some background information that I need to give you that I guess Juliet Ivanko, a transgender woman whose sister performed, Jackie Ivanko, who's a famous singer, performed at President Trump's inauguration, scored a temporary legal victory on Monday when a federal judge ruled that she and two other transgender students at a Pennsylvania high school must be given access to restrooms corresponding to their gender identity. I don't like when they call people women that are actually like still a high school kid, but I guess she's 18. So, all right. So this led to, that Trump is rolling back like a lot of the really great laws, in my opinion, that President Obama, President Obama, he's
I like
in
that,
my-
actually.
In my opinion,
He's
he
the
is.
bomb.
He is
has
the
a
bomb,
ring
yeah.
to it.
Making it safer for transgender kids to go to the restroom at school and not have someone who feels and behaves and acts and dresses like a boy have to go into the girls' room, etc. But President Trump, has been signing executive actions and rolling back some of the rights of transgender youth. And so he gets tweeted at by Jackie Ivanko, and she writes, now this is a girl that sang for him at his inauguration, and she writes, "At Real Donald Trump, you gave me the honor to sing at your inauguration. Please give me and my sis the honor to meet you, to talk, #transgender rights, big heart." And then President Trump also got tweeted at by our good friend Caitlyn Jenner, who wrote, "Well, at Real Donald Trump, from one Republican to another, this is a disaster. You made a promise to protect the LGBTQ community. Call me." And then she included a picture. And so this is going to get really serious because actually the issue may soon be settled by a lawsuit brought by Gavin Grimm, a transgender boy, against his school board in Gloucester County, Virginia. The United States Supreme Court is scheduled to hear an oral argument in that case next month. So this is going all the way up to the Supreme Court. What I wanted to talk to you about is not just transgender rights for kids in bathrooms, but the whole idea that people don't get upset until the president does something that directly affects them.
Thank you.
Like, what about getting upset because he was horrible to everyone else? Why do you, like Caitlyn Jenner and Jackie Ivanko, why do you have to wait until President Trump does something to you that's personally horrible? He's done so many horrible things. Where's the outrage? Katie, Michael.
Because unfortunately we live in a world where other people don't care about the other people in the world that they are living with.
But that's what has to start happening.
I just have a question. Is this ruling saying that, let's say there's a transgender boy at a school, if he goes into the boys' bathroom, then like he's punished?
The one that's going to the Supreme Court?
Yeah. I'm
So that's a
confused.
boy. That's a trans boy who probably on his birth certificate it says it's a girl, and now he's Gavin, and he wants to use the boys' room at school. With Jackie Ivanko,
he
her
would not
sister,
be allowed.
her sister was
So
born
like the
as a
school
boy.
will literally like.
I mean, I don't know
Has
what
he
the
already
punishment
repealed
would be.
it?
No.
I'm sure he
Yeah,
wouldn't
that's
get
what I'm
like punished or
confused.
anything like that. They'd probably just be like, "You're not allowed in there." Like I'm sure he wouldn't get like suspended or something.
They're saying that Gavin has to use the girls' room.
Yeah, they would
and
just-
Gavin does not feel comfortable.
just
with
is
the girls'
really
demeaning.
crazy.
That's disgusting.
Because like it just doesn't. It's like I feel the same way as I feel about like gay marriage, and it's just like I just don't understand people who strongly oppose it, why they prevent other people, you know what I mean, like it just
How does
doesn't
it harm
affect
you at all?
like it human
It's
being
the-
to human being, like how does like me being in a bathroom with somebody have anything, like if somebody wanted to like do something to me, like they could do it in a bathroom
Anyways,
outside, you know what I
yeah.
mean, like it doesn't matter, but like
It's-
let people like
It's fear based,
identify.
and I guess the fear is that somebody would, in order to rape you, they would go shopping at Nordstrom's Fine Ladies Apparel.
So that's why everyone's
yeah, we
upset.
get it.
Because
Yeah.
of rape?
No,
But
no,
look at
but-
the statistics of it.
Yeah, it's
where's
not.
the numbers?
Yeah.
When does
Zero.
that ever happen? Exactly.
Zero.
Exactly.
Because if a guy wants to break into the bathroom
Exactly,
and
like
rape you,
Exactly.
he's not going to dress as a woman to do it. He's just going to break into the bathroom. In fact, Donald Trump breaks into bathrooms to look at beauty contestants, and he says so on Howard Stern. He didn't dress as a girl to do that. He just did it. So it's just completely fear-based.
It's also
and
not
you're
gonna
in a
prevent
stall, like when
people,
you're
like,
going to the
it's not-
bathroom, it's just you. So it's like whoever's in the, like even if it was a gender neutral bathroom, like like anybody could be in there. You're in your own stall, so who matters what junk is in the next
So
one?
It just doesn't matter. Like it's not going to prevent anything. If somebody wanted to do something, they would not be, first of all, obeying the rules, and second of all, like they would figure out a way around it. Like it's just, you're right.
They'd
it's
wait till after
fear-based.
your bathroom break
Like, it's
and then
not-
hit
yeah.
you over the head when you're in your car. You know what
Can
I
I
mean?
Just
al-
trying to like limit people's rights. And
Can
it's
I
just,
also
like,
make the
annoying.
point that in summer camp, I was attacked in my bed by girls in my bunk because I was wearing my bra to sleep because I was new to my bra and I was too afraid to take it on and off. Don't ask me, I have issues. But they jumped on my bed and ripped my pajamas off to show everybody. So I was attacked physically by people without a penis who were supposed to be sleeping in my bunk. You don't need a penis to commit some sort of aggressive action. Anybody can do it at any time. So it's just completely asinine for this law to be preventing people from going where they feel the safest to use the facilities.
I mean, can we kind of like get real for a second? And there's been a lot of posts where a lot of stuff that Trump is doing, it's kind of turning into like dictatorship. And I feel that's just kind of a step towards it. Like he's just like literally demanding people where to go now. Like where we can't even decide on our own. Like you're demanding me to go to this bathroom, even though like I identify with something else. Like I almost feel like that's just kind of like a dictator now.
He put the
yeah,
dick in
no.
dictator.
Yeah.
I'm just really confused why anyone would care if someone walks in and you don't need to know what is in their pants at all, and they came in and they used a stall, and let's say they come into the guys' restroom and you're using a urinal. What does it matter? Like,
Oh, my
I'm
new
really
favorite thing is the way
confused.
British people say urinal. Do it again, please.
Urinal.
Urinal.
But, like-
Yay. Give that a round of applause. That was wonderful.
I
Yeah.
just,
One more time. One
No.
more time.
but also urinal. My brother and I, when we were younger, and still today, we have long hair, over and over and over again, people came in and into the guy's bathroom and walked out because
They thought they were in the wrong room.
They thought we were girls, and that made them so uncomfortable, and like. It shouldn't matter. Like we were using the urinal. Like it doesn't matter if we do have a penis or not. We like you didn't walk into the wrong one. It's just weird how society like still has rules such as like if you have long hair you're a girl. Like why are people so old in their views that anyone that's different or anyone that's transgender or anything like long hair, slight different, is a different gender? In my opinion, I'm so confused how someone can be opposed to someone.
You know what I actually think this is? I think that men don't really even know that there are no urinals in a ladies' room. We're all in stalls. Nobody's doing anything or exposing any of themselves publicly. You can't walk into the ladies' room and see our bits and
Right.
pieces. It's all in a box. Like they probably think that we pee like in a row like they do, and we don't. So heads up, Republicans on the Hill. There's no urinals in the ladies' room.
And to go back on, start speaking out on things that doesn't directly affect you, because most of the times the person that it doesn't really affect can make the most change out of something. So
Yes.
please start You don't have to experience something to feel what somebody else is going through. You don't have to.
Right.
I think we should make a petition to just make all bathrooms gender neutral. Yeah, however you say that.
So raise your hand if you've gone into the men's room or the opposite sex room
I used
at
the guys'
Starbucks when
bathroom.
the other ones were full.
Oh, duh.
100%.
So what is
Gas-
that
we're all
wrong? Like, am I gonna get in
stations.
trouble for doing
We're
that
all
now or
criminals.
something?
But when I see that urinal, I'm like, wow, I don't
I
know.
just feel like a rebel when I do that.
yeah,
I'm like,
right?
ooh, that
Dude,
felt good.
look, I gots to go.
And I would like to do a call to
It's open.
Caitlyn Jenner and Jackie Evanko to please tweet at Donald Trump about other issues that offend you and not just the one that affects you
Yes.
personally. Jilly, would you read the next question, please?
Absolutely. I'm kind of in a relationship, but I was at a mall yesterday and this guy was staring at me and I kept glancing at him. Is this considered being unfaithful?
What does kind of a relationship mean? Kind of in a relationship.
Probably like talking, hanging out, like maybe went to the movies once or twice, something like that. Kind of in a relationship, but they haven't talked about like, are we boyfriend or girlfriend?
So then you're not being unfaithful if you're kind of in one.
Also, like,
You're allowed to
looking
browse.
at somebody. So like, if I was in a relationship and I'm looking at Jabbar right now, like, oh, I'm cheating. Like, what?
You can browse. That's
You
not being
can-
unfaithful.
Yeah, are you
As
kidding
long
me?
as you don't purchase, right?
That's all about like. Damn. Honestly.
You can't even put it in your cart. You have to just leave it on the
No,
shelf.
I mean like that's all those like celebrity crushes. You know how like married couples will be like, okay, if we had
Free
one
pass,
shot,
yeah.
free pass. It's like that. You can think another person is good looking. That's not being
Austin
unfaithful.
Butler, call me.
Just like
Sorry,
maybe don't
Vanessa.
say it in front of your
Like what? You
boyfriend or
just think that
girlfriend.
the opposite sex is completely unattractive as soon as you start dating someone?
Yeah,
Like, that's
like,
just not
that's
how it
not
works.
Stupid.
yeah, it just really depends on how much eyeballing you're doing at the mall.
You're not unfaithful.
It's a little
Oh,
unfaithful
that
if you're like, like giving them the,
Right.
like giving them
Right.
the sexy eyes, like come over here type of look.
what
You know
are
what I
they
mean?
Do you feel like you were doing something
You
wrong?
don't, you don't get them.
First off, I love that.
Hey, no bullying here. Hey.
First off, I love that every girl I have ever dated was like the same person as me. So they would be like, oh, she's cute. I'm like, oh, yeah, she is. And then it's just like, cool, we're fine.
Right. So it's like you can gaze longingly at strangers or whatever, but like when you start talking to someone, I feel like that's when it's on. Like within like how many minutes do you think that you should casually mention your boyfriend if you're sort of flirting with someone?
2 minutes and a half.
2 minutes and a half?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
but
I mean,
some
yeah, if
people
you
are
get that-
super flirty.
If you get that vibe that like, oh, maybe they might be flirting with me, I want to
Right.
make sure they know.
I'm not.
Oh, my boyfriend just
You can
texted me. Like something simple like that.
Right. It can come up very casually.
It really can.
Yeah, because you,
And it hurts. It honestly hurts though when you're talking to somebody else and then they bring up their like
it's
significant
like,
other. You're like, oh, I'm not.
I
Interested
gotta
That's
go.
why it's so hard to bring it up
Bye.
for me, though. Like,
I
if I'm
know.
talking to someone, I feel like, how do I bring it up nonchalantly? Like,
It's-
'Cause you
there's
kinda-
so
yeah.
many things. I feel
I
like
can't. I don't know how. Teach me your ways.
you could say something like, you know who's not as attractive as you? My boyfriend. Because that's a nice way of
I'm not sure I'd say that one. That's
Just let them follow your Instagram, and they'll, if they like you, they'll be scrolling down your feed and say,
Yes.
they're dating.
That's what I would do.
just get more followers. That's all you need to do.
In your instance, you can just whip out your necklace. You can just be like, boom.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Boom.
I have a necklace that says my boyfriend's name on it. I just don't wear it all the time.
if you're married, you're just like, so anyway. Well, look at the time. Yeah, I know. But like that's when the flirting, that's when at least you've established these are the boundaries. Like,
Yeah.
I can talk to you, but
But in her case, they were just looking at each other, and she just
Yeah.
glanced at him once or twice. Like that's definitely
That's
not
not being
unfaithful
I don't think
at
you
all.
have to beat yourself up over that.
Definitely not.
Right. If you
Way too long. Don't look at me.
eyes that linger. All right, next question, Ben.
Okay. So I've been talking to this guy I met online for the past month. We have FaceTime and talked on the phone countless times. We told each other we like each other, and he told me that he wants to be my future boyfriend. But he takes forever to respond to texts. He sometimes won't text me for a whole day or two, and that really annoys me because he is on his phone. I get that he may be busy, but it doesn't take long to shoot one text out like good morning and have a great day. Am I over-exaggerating? I've mentioned this to him before, and he says he will try harder, but he doesn't. What do I do?
yeah.
Take it, Jabbar.
Okay.
I always say this. There's a difference between somebody talking to you on their free time and someone who frees their time to talk to you. You got to spot that difference. If don't go out of your way to go for someone, and if they're going out, you can see that difference. So I think that's the most important thing is knowing that type of person.
I've liked a girl before and like didn't text her that often because like just because I was busy or just because I'm a bad texter in general. So
Yeah, honestly,
it
I
can go
suck
either
at
way.
texting. Like texting is so annoying. I hate it.
That
Like,
doesn't
I
mean you don't like somebody if you don't
No,
text
yeah,
them.
I'd rather just be like, okay, this is when we're hanging out. Cool, I'll see you then.
Pretty
Like,
much.
But
bye.
I think the problem
is
arises.
they're-
I think we're gonna about to say the same thing,
so-
but they're not with each other. Like they're not. They're talking online. So if this is the only kind of contact that they're all getting, you know what I mean? Because I get that. Like I've been with guys who are like such
stupid.
bad.
It'd be different if
no,
they were
but
dating.
if they were
dating.
calling each other or they saw each other or they made an effort, but like if this is all she's getting and she's like hooked on it, like maybe you have to like lower some expectations of like what this is.
He
gonna
might
be.
not
Agreed.
know what to say. What if you? I mean, honestly, because sometimes I'll say a text and I'll be like, "Damn, I need to respond," but I just don't know what to say like next or what to.
Just hit him with
You
a
know
bunch of
what I mean?
emojis.
Right. So like maybe he's trying to think about like the right thing to say because he doesn't want to be boring. Maybe he always says good morning or have a great day. So he's trying to think like, how else can I, emote my feelings through a stupid phone.
How could he be unique?
Yeah, honestly, that's what I'm thinking. If it takes me a long time to text you, people that I may text in the future, it's that.
I mean,
But what about managing your expectations? Like, what is this relationship?
Like,
How often?
True, honestly.
Don't you get to ask him?
she might be over exaggerating just a bit because I'm not stereotyping guys, but guys are bad texters sometimes. I mean, but girls
I
are too.
am.
Girls are too. I like
bad
not gonna
texter.
lie.
I'm a bad
but
texter. I'm
I
a
mean,
good
like a lot of
Snapchatter.
people just are bad texters.
How are you good? No, I know how you good. Never mind. No.
Who, me?
No, I'm just saying like
Oh,
how
makes
to
sense.
be a good texter, but I know how. It's not the way I do it.
I mean, you're probably a good
Just
texter, which
respond.
I'm a good texter, and I want my boyfriend to text better too. But like, he just
That's step one.
doesn't. So I think the bad thing is like you guys met online. Your only communication really is online or FaceTime, and if he's bad at it, it just kind of sucks for you guys. So you kind of need to just be in person for your relationship to blossom like you
A
want
lot
it
of
to.
times I'll like read a text and then totally like forget to respond. I'll be like, I'm gonna respond to that, and then I'll just completely forget.
I know
about
so
it.
many people
They'll
like
be
you.
like
It's so
food,
annoying.
or they'll be like Netflix.
Katie Michael knows what's up.
That's
Like,
me. That's what I
important
do.
things.
is I
Or there'll
look
be
at
like
it
a
and then-
song that comes on. I'll be like, oh
You're like, I'll respond to
shit."
this after the song, and then,
Yeah, and then,
out of your
like,
memory
2
forever.
years later, oh wait. was
See,
there a
I'm not
text message
wired
I
that
was
way. You all are wired that way, and I'm not. Like I respond quickly to
Uh-huh.
everything because I just feel like it's the appropriate thing to do.
Plus,
but I know so many people aren't like that, and so it's like that's just how I was raised. You respond immediately, but out here in LA, nope.
We're way more relaxed.
But don't you feel like there's not a lot in this to begin with? It's already like
Yeah, no,
it's
it's-
online.
You guys just say that you've liked each other, so it's not even really like a thing that you have to work for.
She's just being a girl who's like very just like I want this and I want you to talk to me all the time and blah blah blah.
Right,
Yeah.
but she wants this to fill the love spot in her heart and in her soul that she can say to herself, I'm in a relationship and this is my guy and I have this and therefore I'm complete. But he's not really fulfilling all of the areas.
Well, like
you
I
don't
said,
get the physical.
It's like-
you kind of need the physical.
It's
for
like
a
he's giving her a
relationship.
line drawing, but he's not coloring it in.
like I said, if they were actually in a relationship, like they established, like, hey, we're boyfriend and girlfriend right now, that would be different if he wasn't texting for a whole day or
But
two.
not to just like totally negate her total situation. Like I agree with you, Jilly. That's their only form of communication, so that's kind of big right now. So I
Definitely.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean.
Right, and so if she's not getting her needs met within that, and if he's not a texter and she needs a texter, then if she's gonna if she's gonna have an online relationship, maybe it needs to be with somebody who's better at texting.
Online relationship. That just doesn't. That's not a thing. That shouldn't be a thing.
That's a
An
big thing nowadays. What are you
Online
talking about?
relationship.
Sometimes
Tinder
you,
relationships, like that's like a
Jeez
big thing right now.
Louise.
sometimes you just need
that's
Neve
fake.
and Max.
That's a fake
and-
relationship. That's
Catfish
not.
is my
fake.
favorite
Yeah,
show.
it is. It's an online relationship. It's virtual.
I met
it's
Neve in
nothing
real
you
life.
can
He
feel
signed my
or
book.
touch or see or have. It's
But
all
if
relative
they-
and virtual.
What
It's
if
nothing.
they finally get to meet though? And
Well,
it
that's
does,
great, but
You can fall in love
come
with someone's
on.
personality like over FaceTime.
Yeah.
Am I
But
right?
like that girl that came
online
in.
relationship that just makes no sense.
Well,
for me.
no.
Well, but
Remember,
it's
but
like-
that girl came in, whoever it was that was talking the one time when she came in, and she's like, I had a relationship and going back and forth, and they were gonna like meet each other.
Yeah,
They did.
for 2 years online.
She was so cool. Where is she?
Who was it? I don't remember
She
who
was
it was.
so good
I
at
don't
it.
know.
Was it one of my comedian
You
friends?
were like, you were so happy. She was like, we finally have someone on an online relationship, and then she was never seen again.
Oh, well, we'll find her. All right, let's move on to the next question. We can find her online probably. Oh no, the show's over. All right, so you guys have been
We'll find her online. The show's over.
you guys have been fantastic, and thanks for calling the show.
I agree. We've been awesome.
Thanks for calling the show, and
I think we
if
did
you
great.
are Ben or Sean or Katie Michaels or Jabbar's or Tara's or Jilly's brand new fanboy or girl, please look for our new app.
That sounds like a door opening.
We do have a new app coming out in the App Store, kids, and it's going to be called Journals Network : Advice. Hashtag
Exciting news.
just ask.
The colon.
Download it. It should be in the App Store by the time you view this wonderful broadcast, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.